Hello and welcome to episode 28 of the Dynamo Football Book Club Injury Time. This week we are doing our 1970s World Cup draft. My name's Alistair Bond and I'm joined by my co-host Johnny Coughlin. Johnny, has anyone said anything nice to you recently that I can use as a compliment? Because I've run out.
Last year, my parents were over in our house and I was putting together a table, an IKEA table. It was quite a big thing. And I think it's the most proud my father has ever been of me. He was really taken by my ability of putting together this flat pack piece of furniture.
Get back. He's got the acceleration. He's got the shot. So Tony!
That's my compliment.
Well, we have it there. Master IKEA constructor, Johnny Coughlin. Johnny, I understand you're very good at putting together IKEA tables.
No, that's the thing. It was very straightforward. My father's pride was, it felt kind of out of proportion to the task.
It's because he thinks she's such a fucking klutz, isn't it? Right? What's all? Yeah, my father once remarked I was good at typing, and I think that was the last compliment I received from him, and that was like 25 years ago. And the irony is, Johnny, I'm shit at typing. Anyway, so this week we are doing a World Cup draft of all players who played in the 1970s World Cup. That is a smorgasbord of talent, Johnny.
It's really all been leading up to this, huh? All however many episodes of the Dynamo Football Book Club we've done. This is the pinnacle of football, the 1970s, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. This is where it embraced modernity. Although I have to say, Johnny, the 1970 World Cup, it shines bright. But I must admit, the 74 and 78 World Cup, I don't have as much knowledge, or at least didn't used to have as much knowledge on. Maybe that's because England didn't qualify, or maybe it just didn't impinge on the public consciousness as much.
Well, Al, you know what? Last week we did our book for the 1970s. We're doing a book for each decade. And I just saw one today that would have been right up my street, Al. Blood on the Crossbar, about the 1978 World Cup in Argentina. That's the Dictators World Cup. And I'm afraid to say, Al, we mightn't get to it during our World Cup festival. But we are returning to that book, baby.
I'm going to put my foot down here, listeners. Don't worry about that. No, Johnny, God. No, honestly, when I was doing my research on the 1978 World Cup, I was saying to myself, oh, fucking Johnny's going to love all this, isn't he? Absolutely love it. Like political prisoners. That's Johnny's wheelhouse.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, but you know, you said the other ones aren't as exciting, but you've got the Netherlands team. Obviously, they didn't win, but they got to 2 finals in a row. And I just loved that stuff. I really loved the Cruyff book. It was one of my favorite books that we did. I just think he was one of the most compelling characters. And I don't want to give anything away, Al, but I've got my eye on a certain Dutch player if I am to win the toss.
Well, before we unveil the excitement, folks, let me give you a few fun facts about 1970s World Cup finals. Well, I can tell you this for a start off, Johnny. The 1970s was a decade of very unappealing World Cup mascots. You should see the stadium of absolute horror shows. The 1970s World Cup, the mascot was a little lad called Juanito. And he is just a fat little Mexican kid, like literally obese Mexican kid wearing a sombrero. It's really offensive. 74, Tip and Tap, the West German World Cup. That blonde lad and a dark-haired lad. I did check to make sure there was a dark-haired lad, but again, very unappealing. And I think the least appealing of all for the 1978 World Cup, another little lad, Gauchito. None of them cute, all of them unappealing.
Have you happened to see Coley recently?
Coley?
Yeah. The American government have brought out an animated coal guy to promote coal, and his name is Coley. And I'm not making that up. That's true. Coley is a real, whatever, little mascot for coal. Coal.
Good old coal. That's it's the energy of the future, I believe.
Well, that's what Coley would have you believe. Okay, go on. Give me more about the World Cups. Did you stop at mascots?
Oh, you wanted more than mascots? Yes, I've got more, Johnny. I've got more. So the 1970 World Cup, as we discussed last week, the first in colour, the first World Cup which featured red and yellow cards and the use of 2 substitutions, not for injuries. That is it. I mean, if you want to hear more about the 1970 World Cup, that is last week's. Let's move on to the 1974 World Cup in West Germany. This was won by West Germany against the great Dutch team. In the 1974 Cup, no matches needed any extra time. Oh, there's some political stuff here, Johnny. The USSR refused to compete after they refused to travel to Pinochet's Chile to play the playoff final for that game. Yeah, they were playing the game in the same stadium where Pinochet was hanging his left-wing opponents. So awful.
Chile has just re-elected a far-right president, whatever amount of years after Pinochet. Carry on now.
This is what it's here for, folks. Yeah, the first time that Australia competed, the only time East Germany competed, the only time Haiti have competed until this coming World Cup, and the much lampooned Zaire's first appearance. And this was a weird format which would be continued into the next World Cup, whereby the top 2 teams, there were 16 teams competed, the top 2 teams went into an additional group phase, and the winner of each group phase then went into the final. Who came up with that? An idiot. Okay, so also for 74 was the first time penalties were introduced to decide a game, but they weren't used. Carlos Cagelli was the first player sent off against West Germany. Usefully, I've not noted down his nationality. Scotland were eliminated, unbeaten. It was the birth of total football. It was the first penalty in a World Cup final. And essentially, the final was characterised as Bayern Munich versus Ajax. The leading scorer in the 1974 World Cup was Gregoritz Lato. Who? Of the old Mount Rushmore, he fucking ain't. All right, for the 1978 World Cup, and maybe the most controversial of all, until obviously the modern age, yeah, the most notorious, Argentina were being run by a fascist junta. The tournament was marred by flagrant controversy, domestic politics, and interference by the Argentine authoritarian military junta government. Yeah, just as I read that, I thought, oh, lovely Johnny, he's going to absolutely love it. The first time the Adidas Tango Durlast was used, what a beautiful football was that. The logo, here's fun, the logo for the 78 World Cup was a tribute to Juan Perón's signature gesture, raising his hands above his head. The government by then wanted to get rid of it, but by that time it had been distributed all over the world and they couldn't change it. So there was a tribute to Juan Perón in the marketing for the 1970 World Cup. Yeah, 3 streets away from the stadium where the final was held was the Navy and Petty Officers sector of the Mechanics, which was the junta's flagship torture camp, where they took the desaparecidos, the disappeared, run by General Fidea. Yeah, and one of the chairman of the World Cup Organising Committee, Omar Actis, was assassinated by said junta. Yeah, very poor. And here's a very fun fact. After the France-Argentina game, urine samples were taken of all the players who played in that game. And post the game, it turned out one of the Argentine players was pregnant. So that's a fun fact.
They were taking the piss from someone else then, I guess.
Yes, they were. One of the Argentine players was pregnant after the...
Mr. Passarella, there's something you need to know.
Yeah, well, I got through a lot of dull facts until I got to a good one, didn't I, Johnny? Lovely stuff. Okie dokie.
On World Cup formats then, you mentioned about the one from 1974. So the World Cup in 2026 has 48 teams. How many games will the winning team and the other finalist play in the World Cup?
9.
No, just 8. That's wild, isn't it? Because I suppose 16 go out in the first round. That's daft. The group stage. It means that like the group stage is kind of like you mentioned Haiti. Teams like that will be going out and everyone else will be remaining.
I think there is a purity to the 16-team format, Johnny. I know that it means you don't include everybody, but there is a real purity to it.
Ireland would never ever see another World Cup. Even England, you guys would struggle to get back in again, even though in the modern era, qualifying is not a problem for England. Not since old McLaren, eh?
No, not since McLaren. Well, no, there is a purity, and yes, I suppose I do like the inclusivity of a larger World Cup, but there is a purity to it, just a 16-team tournament.
You know, the Euros always seems hard, doesn't it? The European Championships. Isn't that kind of weird, the way that, in a way, seems harder than the World Cup?
Well, because it's a higher density of quality teams, isn't it? If you actually had the 32 best teams in the world playing in a World Cup, a very, very high percentage of them would be European teams.
Do you want to guess? Do you want to guess how many?
19, although I think that's kind of skewed, isn't it? Because
Did you say 19?
Yeah, I said 19.
Was that a guess?
Yeah.
The answer is 18. Not bad.
Yeah. Made it sound like I'd absolutely nailed it.
Have you got a coin? I think I might have a coin now.
Yeah, I don't have a coin, and don't make me escape from my pillow fort. It'll all come tumbling down. I've got a rug clipped to a fan, which is far from ideal.
I think, ironically, on this particular coin, tails is a man's head. And I'm going with that. Call it in the air.
Gladiators, ready!
Well, I go tails then, Johnny.
Yes, it's tails. It's a man's head.
All right, so I've won.
We're doing a snake draft, I assume.
Yeah, okay. And with that in mind, Johnny, I will let you have first pick.
Oh,
and I will
fucking bastard. Just to say, there's a few players we can't pick today because we picked them and we made an agreement from the outset that if they came up in the previous drafts, we can't pick them. Can you remember any players from the 1930s on?
No. Oh, God. This is what I tell people. It's like, I've actually learned quite a lot doing this podcast. And then they'll tell me something. I'm like, Hungary were good long ago. Pushkas. That's all I've got. I can't remember any names. Yep.
I was digging deep there for a joke that you couldn't include such and such a player from the 30s. But alas, I can't think of a single one from that draft. But there you go. Okay. So we can't include Pele. We can't include Bobby Charlton. We can't include Bobby Moore. And I think that's more or less it.
Okay, that's fine. All right, that leaves one name. Okay, who could have a big part. All right, so Johnny, I won the toss. I put you first. Well, who is your first pick?
Well, you know, I'm going to pick Cruyff because I love the guy. And I think it's fitting because I have a feeling I know who you're going to pick in for one of your two choices. And when we did these books, I was on Team Cruyff. So he played in the 1974 World Cup, but not the 1978 World Cup. And there was a controversy in the 1974 World Cup, if you remember, when the Dutch players were in a jacuzzi, apparently, with some ladies from West Germany. And I guess it felt like it might have been a bit of a setup and a sting operation by the West Germans, because as you say, the World Cup was in West Germany. And the Netherlands were not good in the final. And there's something, it's a bit like Zidane and the headbutt. It's one of those incidences where, in a way, the team that lost is more famous than the team that won. And there's something, maybe the Netherlands would have been more famous had they won, more famous again. But it does seem like they're the ones that people remember, right? People really don't seem to like that West Germany team, I think.
No, I agree, Johnny. And like, if you put me on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and said 1974 World Cup final, who won it, and they give me four options, I might not have taken it. I might have taken the money, Johnny, because I'm pretty sure it was Germany, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was, but I wasn't entirely sure. But yeah, I tell you, if you asked me who they played in the final, I would have known it was Holland for sure.
Are you going to pick two West Germans?
Yes, I fucking am.
I think both times that there's been a snake draft and you've won the toss, you've done this to me, and it is a crafty enough little move.
Okay, so yeah, my first pick will be I'll say his name, Johnny. A beautiful man.
I think the best Beckenbauer moment that I'm aware of is the playing in the World Cup in 1970 with the dislocated shoulder. We talked about it last week, but that's absolutely wild.
It's absolutely magnificent, and it's just a testament to what a wonderful man he was, like, playing on throughout extreme physical discomfort. Yeah, comfortably the best defender in the world, the most famous defender in the world, and probably the only defender who is on the Mount Rushmore of footballers. Yeah, my first pick is going to be Franz Beckenbauer. And my second pick, Johnny, as you correctly predicted, is going to be another West German, and it's going to be Der Bomber.
What was it wasn't it Cola? That was what was the voice he used to do for Cola?
Cola. Yeah. Whose name I always got wrong, as it turned out, like Jan Koller. Yeah, I was called him Jürgen. Jan Koller on my Pro Evo times. But yes, I'm going for Der Bomber, Gerd Muller.
Muller. Yeah, okay, the Bomber. So 10 goals in the 1970 World Cup and the winning goal in the 1974 World Cup. And also Beckenbauer, 103 caps for West Germany, 3 European Cups with Bayern, which is, of course, the number I think that Cruyff won with Ajax, isn't it? And yeah, Beckenbauer is the original and kind of only liberal, right? There's no other one, really, is there?
Well, lots of people tried, didn't they?
Bobby Moore?
Bobby Moore did not play like Franz Beckenbauer. Beckenbauer would step out from the back and just glide forward like an elegant beast. Well, actually, I've got some fun facts here about him.
Go on.
In the early 2000s, 02, the phone company gave him a personalised telephone number. He could choose any number he wanted, and he chose 0176 666 666. And that apparently is very, very close to a German sex line. And in the end, he had to give it up after one night he was awoken, apparently at 3 a.m, by a gruff German man requesting "Rede schmutzig mit mir," which means "talk dirty to me." "No, thank you," said Mr. Beckenbauer. All right, now let me give you some Gerd Muller stats, Johnny. Ooh, I didn't realise. Again, it's one of those, I knew the name. I had no idea how fucking absolutely deadly he is. So in 62 Germany games, he scored 68 goals. 1.1. No one gets close. 14 goals in World Cup finals. That was a record till closer. He scored 365 goals for Bayern Munich. Now, Harry Kane just got into the top 10 of all-time German Bayern Munich scorers. He's not even halfway. In 1972, Gerd Muller scored 85 goals for club and country, a number unsurpassed until a certain Lionel Messi. He has scored in a Euros final, a World Cup final, and a Champions League final. Honestly, mate, he's the first German Ballon d'Or, and he was described as short, fat, and not particularly fast. But motherfucker, that guy could score. Yeah, just for a fun thing, he grew up in Nordlingen in Germany, and in 1962-63, he was playing for the Nordlingen youth team. He scored only 180 goals in that season. Ooh, baby! Der Bomber. 180 goals in a season.
Didn't he play for the Fort Lauderdale Kickers, which is a funny one, you know? I'm going to America. Are you joining the Cosmos? No, I'm going to Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, it's lovely, Fort Lauderdale. It's really nice.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, it's lovely. Yeah, really nice.
Okay.
All right, so look at that. Gerd Muller and Franz Beckenbauer. Johnny, who's your next pick?
Well, I'm torn here, Al. I'm really torn. Okay, I'm going to go for Jairzinho, who came up last week a good bit in our 1970s World Cup book, The Greatest Show on Earth, which was about the 1970 World Cup in Mexico. Please have a listen, folks, if you're so inclined. A World Cup in which Jairzinho, the Hurricane, or to say it in Portuguese. Do you know how to say hurricane in Portuguese, Al? Don't say that. Don't have a guess.
Hurricane.
Not so bad. Not too far off. It's the Furacão. The Furacão, El Furacão. He scored in all 7 games of the 1970 World Cup. He was the replacement of Garrincha, a big, strong winger with fantastic hair. And he's going right into my team. We didn't pick him the last time no, we didn't in the 60s because he wasn't in the team. Yeah, that's him. And not substituted in the 1970 World Cup. I happen to know that.
No, you're absolutely right, Johnny. He wasn't. Correct. Yeah, so Jairzinho, yeah, decent player. Not a great record for Brazil, so yeah, not a great pick, but okay. All right, very good. Yeah,
Why do you say? Hold on. 33 goals and 81 caps. Yeah, maybe you're right, but look at that hair, Al.
let me just repeat Gerd Muller's statistics. 68 goals and 62 caps. Okie doke. Take that into account, AI. All right then. So now for my third pick. Ooh. Well, I've got two, but I'm going to... Ich liebe Deutschland. I'm going to go for a goalkeeper, Sepp Maier.
Sepp Maier, yeah.
Maier. He famously chased a duck once when he was bored on the pitch. That's apparently what he's most famous for, chasing a fucking duck. Couldn't find any things. And he's an amateur magician, but now let's talk about his stats. Ooh,
Where is the Katze von Ansing, the cat?
Oh, yeah. I honestly, I saw, his name's a cat, and I thought, is that really remarkable enough for me to repeat it? There's a goalkeeper, and guess what they nicked that? I tell you what, if you ever look at a picture of Sepp Maier, he doesn't look like a cat.
Did you say Benetti was also called a cat? Peter Benetti?
Yeah, the cat. Yep. No one ever called Mark Crossley a cat, though. I'll give you that. I looked at Mark Crossley and thought, look at that.
You didn't happen to see Onana kicking the ball into his own goal a couple of weeks ago, did you?
No, I didn't.
It's very nice. So there's a header and it goes past him. He's kind of splayed on the floor, kind of, as the ball passes him. And it either hits the post and comes back, or a defender clears it. And he turns his body to see what's happening, and he volleys it straight into the net.
That poor kid. They must be left into Milan. Oh, it's just all gone wrong for him since then, right? Just everything's gone wrong for him since then.
Yeah, well,
I'm rooting for him as well. I like the lad. I mean, I liked him when he was playing for United. He's throwing them in against Forest. I like that. Just shoot it straight down the middle of a pipe. Don't even have to hit it hard. He'll let it go in. Oh, mate. Oh, I love that. Just a very quick Sepp Maier. He was instrumental in the making of modern goalkeeper gloves. They called him Mickey Mouse because he wore massive, great gloves with the blue pimples on it. He won the 1974 World Cup. He won the 1972 Euros. He was German Footballer of the Year in 1975, 1977, 1978. He was 4-time German champion. He won 3 Champions League. But this is the most amazing stat about Sepp Maier.
Can I guess?
Go on, then.
He played 442 consecutive Bundesliga games.
Great guess, Johnny. That's unfucking believable. I've got 422 written down here, but nonetheless, that is 10 consecutive seasons of football without missing a single game. No one's ever going to beat that, right?
That is insane. Here's a funny story for you. When I was in school, one of the last days of school, there was a kind of prize giving thing, and my friend Ray Byrne, he won the award for ever present. He'd never missed a day of school. I don't know if it was for the whole time he was in school, all 6 years, but certainly for his final year of school. And he wasn't there to receive it because he was reaching.
That is good.
Yeah, lovely. What do you call that in England? Do you just say playing truant, playing hooky? What do you call it?
Skiving.
Skiving, okay. Mitching in Ireland. Okay, it's me, isn't it? All right.
Yeah.
Well, in that case... How many players?
Lovely German spine, haven't I, Johnny? Lovely, lovely German spine. Maier, Muller, and Beckenbauer. I feel good about this.
Yeah, you're going heavy on the 1974 World Cup. So I think I'm going to 1978 for my next pick. I'm torn here. I think I'm going to go for Mario Kempes.
Excellent choice, Johnny. Good. Get him in you. Yep. Good pick, Johnny.
Why said I don't like that?
Said it out. Yeah, Kempes in it. Good.
I take it back.
No, you said it. Mario Kempes. Good.
1978 Golden Boot winner. He was He scored twice in the final, received the Golden Boot. He also won the Golden Ball for Player of the Tournament, making him one of only 3 players out to have won all 3 awards at a single World Cup, along with Garincha in 62 and Paolo Rossi in 1982. Kempes was nicknamed El Toro, which I'm going to guess means the bull, and El Matador. So not only is he a bull, he is a bull fighter.
Well, Matador means killer. I never realised that, but of course it does. Matador means killer.
Wow.
Matt. I just never ever put that together. That's what it means. It means the killer.
So one Matta's name is John Death.
John Death.
John Death.
Johnny Death. Yeah.
Johnny Death. That's a heck of a
I
name.
used to go to a school with a girl called Nicola De Ath. D approximately Ath. Yeah, come on, deaf girl. Go on.
Okay, I don't like your reaction to my choice of Kempes, and I have a feeling I know. Yeah, actually,
Yeah, no, he was fine. Yeah, I've actually got it written down here. Yeah, Argentina, 43 games. 20 goals. Not comparable with Muller. That's actually what I wrote down there. So yeah, nowhere near as good.
it's not just what you're doing. So your second pick, you're just comparing all of my players to your second pick. Not as good as Cruyff.
Well, Johnny, he wasn't. Okay, yeah. Fun fact about Mario Kempes, those 6 goals he scored at the World Cup in 1978 were the last goals he ever scored for Argentina. He was done by 1982 as a young man. He never scored another goal for Argentina. He was Luis Suarez before Suarez. In that World Cup, astonishingly, he saved a ball on the line against Poland, which the Argentine keeper went on to save that penalty.
Any bites?
Haven't gotten that in my notes, but yeah.
His picture on Wikipedia, have a look at him. He really looks like Marouane Fellaini. Surprisingly.
Oh, I will have a look.
A slightly more handsome Marouane Fellaini.
All right, and I've got two more facts. He went on to be a manager, and I'll just see if how good your football knowledge here. He managed Blooming and the Strongest 2 football teams. What country are they from?
Paraguay.
Pretty close, Johnny. Bolivia. But yeah, there you go. There's your Mario Kempes. All right.
He played for Valencia, so yeah, maybe he isn't as he didn't strike pick.
No, you did great, Johnny. Carry on. Okie dokie. I'm also going to the 1978. This is who I was scared you were going to pick. Johnny, I'm going to go for...
Is it Passarella?
El Gran Capitan. Sí, señor. Daniel Passarella. Yep. He won the World Cup in 1978 and 86, although he didn't play in 86 because, honestly, from what I've read, it sounded like he was literally poisoned by Maradona.
He's Maradona's great enemy, isn't he?
He really is. Like, yeah, and
because he's a what? He's a River Plate guy, isn't it?
He's a River Plate guy, and he's also a total prick. Yeah, he was manager of Argentina, and he banned long hair and earrings and homosexuals from the team. So, good guy.
Was that in 90 or 94?
94. No, it might be 1990 because Redondo and Canigia refused to play for him.
Yeah.
Very dirty with his elbows. But how about this for the lad? 451 games, 134 goals from defence. That was a record until Ronald Koeman. What an excellent pick Daniel Passarella is.
So he had 22 goals for Argentina.
Ooh, which is as many goals as your fucking striker got.
Because I was going to go for one or the other, but I thought that seeing as you already have a defender, you mightn't pick another one. It's a very defensive team you're going for.
Yeah, it is, and that's never actually served me very well in the past, has it? But there you go. Like, I like it, and I like Passarella as well as an individual. Yeah, he was out all of the 86 World Cup. Yeah, that was apparently Montezuma having his revenge again. Like, poor lad.
Well, you know what? I'm going to go for Ozzy Ardiles because I'm. If you're going to pick all the defenders, the other defender I have written down here is Bertie Vogts, and fuck that. That is so boring. Bertie Vogts apparently marked Cruyff out in the final in 1974. But come on, Bertie Vogts, Scotland manager, get out of here. So I'm going to go for Ozzy Ardiles, who ChatGPT threw me up as a defender. Clearly not a defender, but I'm going to go with you, ChatGPT. So apparently he's deep enough lying midfielder. So I'm going to give Ozzy in the cup for Tottenham the nod there. So I'm going for a heavy Argentina. I'm going for the for the Juntas team.
Yeah, great lad, Ozzy Ardiles. I've got a lot of warmth towards him. Don't know why, but I really do like
I
it.
do as well. Why is that? Do you know that he left Spurs for a season? He went on loan to Paris Saint-Germain because of the Falklands War. There you go.
Yeah, I did. And then 30 years later, he was making a documentary about the Falklands and was in a serious car accident in the Falkland Islands. How many car accidents are in the Falkland Islands where he crashed into a fucking penguin? Anyway, there you go.
Okay, go on. You've got one more. Are you going for Bertie Vogts? Just to really solidify that back line.
Oh, there's a couple of nice options here. I'm gonna
Actually, can I change my last pick? I haven't done very well this time around.
You've had every chance to make your picks, Johnny. But no, my last pick is. Oh, I'm looking at. Nope. Yeah, you've got one more pick, haven't you, after this, Johnny? So I'm going to go for Johan Neeskens.
Yeah, well, that's who I was going to change to. He's the engine room. Cruyff's engine room.
Nickname the second Johan. And yeah, poor Johan Neeskens he's very much in Johan Cruyff's shadow everywhere he goes. He doesn't make his life easy by following him around the world like, oh, you off to Ajax, are you, Johan? I'll go there too. Oh, Barcelona, you say? I'll go there too. Oh, you're going to play for New York Cosmos? Admittedly, one game for Cruyff. But yeah, me too. He was called the Dutch Lung. I don't know if that's a good name. It's Dutch Lung. But yeah, he's a big one. Like they call him the silent legend. He's not so famous, but he got 5 goals at the '74 World Cup and was absolutely instrumental in that Dutch team. So yeah, I'm fine. I'm fairly happy with my pick there. Johan Neeskens is my last pick.
So Johan, are you happy with your nicknames? The Orange Lung and the Silent Genius? They're two of the shit's nicknames football has ever produced.
Or the second Johan. Oh, come on. You're good. You're not as good as him, but you're good. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, my last pick has got to be a goalkeeper, and there's only 2. Well, Gordon Banks is another one that we can't pick this week because he was picked the last time. And of course, he was, what did you say? He won goalkeeper of the year like 6 years in the 60s or something, like 6 out of 10
Yeah,
years.
this kid is amazing.
Anyway, so my options here were, listen to this guy's name, Jan Youngblood, the original sweeper keeper from the 1974 and 1978 Dutch teams. But he played in 2 finals, but he was playing in the Dutch second division at the time. Can you imagine that? So I'm not going for that guy. But he was a sweeper keeper, and that's kind of football I'd like to see my team playing. Instead, I'm going to go for 112 caps for Italy, Serie A title with Juventus. Serie A titles with Juventus, that's a bit shit, isn't it? World Cup winner in 1982. Do you know how old he was when he won the World Cup in 1982?
42. 40. He was 40. He was born in 1942.
If you get this to the minute and you haven't got it written down, I will buy you a Coke, as they say in America. How many minutes did he go without conceding a goal for Italy, do you think?
What, between 1972 and 1974? I would guess at 1,142 minutes.
That is an amazing guess. Yeah, that's my boy. Dino's off. He's the only one I think who didn't play. And did he play? Was he in goal for Italy in 1970?
No, he wasn't. No.
So I think of all the players we've picked here, this is the only guy who didn't play in any of the finals of that particular decade, but he did later win the World Cup. And of course, I'm shooting our 1980s draft, future me and future you in our respective feet.
Well, don't worry, because on the 80s, I've got fucking Peter Shilton to pick. Yeah, Dino's off, not going to get a look in. No, he's an excellent keeper. Yeah, definitely more associated with the 82 World Cup, but it's a legitimate pick, although slightly morally dubious.
Why is it morally dubious?
Oh, because as I said, Johnny, I mean, like you say Dino's off, I think 82.
But he was 40, man. He was well past his prime. I got him. Do you remember when I got Pele in 1958 and you said it was before he was in his prime? I've been smirting about that ever since. So I put out my scouts.
Well, there you go. He wasn't in his prime because he didn't win the World Cup till he was 40. He really hit peak form at turn 40s.
Give me some honourable mentions there, and I will write.
All right, and so I wanted to shout out to Claudio Gentile, the Italian centre back, huge player, big man. Scary man. Oleg Blokhin, the Russian striker, he remains the all-time Russian leading scorer. And the last one, a name I'm not familiar with, but Teofilo Cubias from Peru. He scored 5 goals in 2 different World Cups. He's the only non-German to have ever done that. He was nicknamed El Bebe because he loved milk. And he scored 288 goals in 480 games, and some of them in Spain. So yeah, there's my 3 shout-outs. Yeah, my next pick was going to be Ozzy Ardiles because he really was shit up, better than I realised. Oh, and the other one was the Uruguay keeper, Ladislao Mazurkiewicz, who was the keeper of a tournament in 1970, a Polish immigrant to Uruguay. Only 5'10". What is it with like short keepers in South America? They love them.
Tactically, this is an interesting matchup. I have no defenders. Ozzy Ardiles is patrolling defence and midfield. And then I have no real strikers either. I've got Cruyff, Jairzinho and Kempes. Then you have Sepp Maier in goal. And then you have Beckenbauer and Passarella. Or Passarella and Beckenbauer, although Beckenbauer's playing in midfield. Neskins and Beckenbauer in midfield. And then you've got Muller up front.
So that team. Surely.
Is it?
Surely AI.
You're going for the most defensive five-a-side team ever conceived. Here we go. A fast start from Team John. Cruyff drops deep, dragging Beckenbauer out. He's got him in his pocket. Goal 1-0. Cruyff picks it up deep, glides past the second Johan, slips Jairzinho in, bang, goal. But, okay. 1-1. The bomber. Neskins wins it high. Quick exchange with Beckenbauer. Low ball into Muller. Okay, half time. Low scoring enough half. It's a tight game. Ardiles struggling physically versus Neskins. Kempes dropping deeper to compensate. Zoff makes 2 very Zoff saves. Calm and no fuss. Oh no, Al. Passarella wins a high tackle. Carries it forward. Plays it into Beckenbauer. Quick slip past the Neskins. First time strike. That is... Oh, here we go. Chaos returns. Cruyff drifts left. Overload with Ardiles. Quick triangle. Ball breaks loose. Kempes. The matador. The killer. 2-2, Al. So here we go. Oh, God. Here it is. The decisive moment. Beckenbauer intercepts Cruyff centrally. Instead of slowing it, he drives forward. Slides it into Muller. Muller back to goal. 1 touch. Spins. Shoots. Zoff saves. But parries. Rebound falls to Neskins. 3-2. And Team Al, I must say, I kind of thought you were going to win that. I think I kind of fucked that one up. But there you go, Al. So you've won 2 on the bounce now. I think it's 2-2 in the World Cup series now. I'm the master of the 30s and the 50s, and you are the 60s and 70s man.
Well, 50s and 70s man, dude. Yeah, hippie. Yeah, lovely. Well deserved by me. Yeah, is that crucial coin toss win there, eh? So I could get both my boys in right from the get-go. I really wanted Muller and I really wanted Beckenbauer.
Yeah, well, that was nicely done, Al. I'm happy for you. And I suppose, yeah, it reflects our preferences for Cruyff and Beckenbauer, and I suppose your deep, deep German heart.
Ich liebe Deutschland.
All right, lovely stuff. So next week we are back with a 1980s World Cup book. I bought the wrong one. I bought How We Won the World Cup by Diego Maradona. All 285 pages of it. I might just read it anyway. But we are doing
The Glorious Failure. The story of the 1982 Brazil team who failed to win, but maybe the greatest team never to win the World Cup.
Oof.
Brazilian books generally are pretty good, aren't they, Johnny? I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, I have enjoyed most of the Brazilian books that we've done. Pele one, maybe the least. But yeah, okay, that's great. And that would be, I guess we don't need to spoil it, but I have a feeling I know what happens there. Okay, very good. Lovely stuff. And we'll be back for the 1980s. The 80s are quite dull compared to the 70s, football-wise.
Yeah, 70s is just so sexy, isn't it? No, the very fact that I wasn't bothered about Dino Zoff because fucking Peter Shilton's an option really does encapsulate the 80s. Like, oh yeah, Brian Robson, please. No.
Well, there is
Shilton,
one.
please.
there is one shining star in the firmament of the 1980s, isn't there? So you won't be handing over 2 picks to me if you win the toss next time around.
You're quite right, Johnny. I certainly won't be. Yeah, he's the man, isn't he? We know who it is.
Okay, lovely stuff. Thank you very much, Al, and thank you, folks, for listening. Please do tell your friends and like and subscribe. All the best.
Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Müller und 2-1.
Niederlande, Bundesrepublik Deutschland, 1:2. Torschütze Müller.
Last question. Thank you very much indeed.